hey there, this is Movie Review Mom. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a specific movie. So the specific movie I'm reviewing today is called Hot Seat. This suspenseful movie from Lionsgate is available in select theaters on digital and video on demand on July 1st, 2022. The movie is rated R and it's an hour and 44 minutes. My movie review mom grade is a C. And let me tell you why. Don't leave yet. Keep watching. In a nutshell, the low-budget cyber thriller is directed and produced by James Cullen Bresek. The movie is based on the story by Leon Langford and Colin Watts. The story is about an ex-hacker who is forced to break into high-level banking institutions by an anonymous villain. The cops and bomb squad must try to penetrate the booby-trapped building to get the IT expert off the hot seat, because there's a bomb underneath his seat. And if he stands up, the bomb goes boom. So there were things I liked as well as didn't like about this movie. Let me tell you about them, as well as I'll tell you tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and give you some recommendations for other movies. So the things that I like, first of all, starts with Mel Gibson. His involvement in this movie is really why most people will watch it and be intrigued initially. He's always a pleasant addition, and he certainly elevates the stature of this movie. I've been a fan for years. He even has some funny lines in the movie to add some comic relief. He does a great job. Other cast members include Kevin Dillon, Michael Welch, Sam Asghari, and Eddie Steeples. I really enjoyed seeing Shannon Doherty too, especially since she's been going through some cancer treatments. I thought she did a really good, believable job, and I wish her health and happiness. I've always liked single location movies. Now, the movie isn't entirely in this one office, but the majority of the movie takes place within this one room. Fun fact number one, they shot the movie in only 7 days. Some people will say, yeah, it shows. Fun fact number two, Kevin Dillon admits he's terrible with computers and that they had an IT expert on set who was available to answer questions. And it's hard to think watching a man typing on a computer frantically would actually be interesting or cause enough tension and suspense, but it works well enough at times. Sleight of hand is mentioned early on in the movie and in the story, and then demonstrated in several different ways in the plot. The plot features a mystery of who the bad guy really is. So there were some things I didn't like. Unfortunately, the movie doesn't fully utilize the talented Mel Gibson. Like Bruce Willis and Liam Neeson and a few other of those great actors, I worry that more and more of these movie stars who were hot in the 80s and 90s are now just kind of cashing in on their name for small roles in very mediocre movies. I get it. They want to snag all the money they can before they retire, but the result is a lot of really mediocre movies and disappointed viewers who are expecting great things from these movie stars whom they know and love. There are also quite a few bad acting moments, and most of that can be contributed, I think, to a cliched script. The granny voice towards the very beginning of the movie sounded like a cartoon voice, for example. A lot of details are just wrong or missing, and you're just going to go, don't. Every time you see something that just is silly. People's reactions to events often seem off. For example, if you were on a morning jog and saw a bomb go off near your neighborhood, would you just shrug and keep going? Well, that's what the character does. I mean, I think I would race home and call, 911 or something, and he doesn't do any of those things. He's just like, and then would you still go to work if it were your day off and your daughter's birthday? In the movie, they don't seem to explain the urgency for this guy to actually be in the office on that day. There's very little character development, and that's always frustrating for me because that's the big story arc that you want to see. Now, let me give you some tips for parents. There is profanity, including a lot of F-bombs, some bloody violence, weapons of various kinds, explosions, people die, people are in perilous situations. There's also lots of destruction and that kind of thing. And I think some kids are just going to get bored waiting for something to happen. So will some adults, really. Some of the themes that are illustrated well in the movie are family, workplace honesty, computer hacking skills, and coworkers. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines and include them in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So one of the funny lines that I wrote down was a line that I love and always makes me laugh when I watch the movie Home Alone. And so Enzo, who's played by Michael Welch, says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." I don't know if you remember that from Home Alone, but it always makes me laugh. Unfortunately, I didn't really write down any interesting lines, so that's kind of a disappointment. Nothing really jumped out at me worth noting. Before we go, let me give you a movie recommendation for another film that I think you might like if you like this, and possibly vice versa. The film is called Phone Booth. It's another one of those one location types of movies where terrible things are happening and this guy's got to stay on the phone. Well, it's been out for a while, so no big spoilers. Unless you haven't seen it, then you might want to check it out. All right, that's it for my review. I hope that if you watch this movie, you get a kick out of it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.